We're here with Nutrition Minute with MuscleMentor.net. I'm Justin Harris and this is Brad Hall, and we're going to talk about sodium on a contest diet. My view on sodium on a contest diet is I'm all for high sodium on a diet. For one, it helps season food, it helps food taste better, which is very good with a bland diet. Two, a hydrated body is actually better at oxidizing fat for energy. When you get dehydrated, it's actually harder to burn fat. It's not a huge difference, but eating the sodium is going to keep water in your body. And I realize everyone wants to look like they're on a contest diet, the entire contest diet, but the small amount of water you hold from the extra sodium is actually good for a number of reasons. Another thing is people don't realize is that with glycogen storage, when you eat a carbohydrate and you store the glycogen in the muscle, that doesn't just go up by itself. It requires two additional carriers. To store glycogen, you need three things. You need glucose, obviously, the carbohydrates, but then you need sodium and you need water on top of that. And without the sodium, you cannot store carbohydrates in the muscle as glycogen. And even worse is if you get too low in sodium, you'll go into something called hyponatremia, and then eventually something called redistributive hyponatremia. And what will happen is your blood sugar will start climbing because you don't have enough sodium in the body to store the glycogen, and the body panics with that high blood sugar. Your blood gets like syrup, and it attempts to redistribute the water, and so it starts pulling the water from the muscle tissue and from the blood vessels, and it pulls it under the skin into the extracellular space, which is the exact worst spot you want it. So
that's what you see too in people who really mess up last minute in their contest prep with their water manipulation.
Yeah, and people say they spill over.
Watery.
Yeah, they spill over. What actually happens is it's not that they spilled over from too many carbohydrates. It's they spilled over from not enough sodium to take those carbohydrates into the muscle, and so the blood sugar starts rising. And I actually have my clients check their blood sugar during the carb up process, so we can see when that's starting to happen. Yeah, but they don't have enough sodium to take the carbohydrates in the muscle, so the blood sugar starts rising. They get hyponatremic, and then eventually go into redistributive hyponatremia. The water gets pulled under the skin, and people think they spilled over, but it's not from too many carbohydrates. It's actually from not enough sodium. I mean, you could say one or the other. If you have too many carbohydrates, or not enough sodium, or if you have not enough sodium or not enough carbohydrates. But the end result actually is that it's not necessarily from too many carbohydrates. It's from not enough sodium to take those carbohydrates into the muscle.
One more thing is the large turtle gut, or whatever everyone blames on hormones or growth hormone or something like that. Probably the biggest culprit would be exactly this: not enough sodium, so they're taking in carbohydrates. It can't go anywhere because it's not able to. The sodium channels that are needed to take that water and the glycogen and actually fill the muscle can't happen. So it sits there in your stomach like a bowling ball and makes you look like a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.